Hey everyone, and welcome back to DIY with Melissa. As I promised, here I am with another tutorial. It's another Valentine's Day tutorial. This time it is super sweet. It's called an Eclipse card, and I recently saw it online and I'm absolutely in love with it. It's so hard to show you though on camera. There we go, on camera, but it is like the words are popping out of the design. So in this case, it says XOXO. So look at that. Look how sweet that is. It's just so darling. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to create this design in Cricut Design Space. The design I'm using, so this background image, it is an image I grabbed from Canva. So if you want that, I would head over there. I don't believe it's a free image though, so keep that in mind. I did do another one. I did this heart version that says love. Again, it's so hard to show on camera. There we go. A little bit better. Maybe not. But you can see that there is a design that is a bit raised on here. This one, it looks much better in person, but anyhow. That one was a bit more difficult to do. The images were different. This was a layered design in Cricut Design Space, whereas this is a flattened image that I grabbed off Canva. Cricut also has flattened images that you can use. So if you have Cricut access, you can use that. But if not, head over to Canva, try to find some there. But if you have a membership to places like Creative Fabrica or Design Bundles, I'm sure they have many images you can use as well. So without further ado, we're going to head over to the computer and get this project started. We are back at the computer and we're going to get right into it. It is simple to do, but it is a bit of a brain teaser at the same time, to be honest. So I'm going to hide this one for now, and we're going to start from scratch. The first thing we want to do is to bring an image in or use an image off of Cricut Design Space. I did find this image off of Canva, and I really liked it, so I'm going to go with this one. The heart one I will share on my shorts. That one, I got it from Cricut Design Space. That one was a little bit trickier to do, so I'm not going to get into that right now because it was a lot of slicing in different layers and my brain almost said just stop at one point. So we won't get into that one, but we will do this one, which will set you up for many other projects. Once I have this in here, I'm going to bring in a square with rounded corners. And I'm also going to bring in a card. Cricut does have some free card designs available, so this rounded version I like a lot, and it comes with the envelope as well. So I'm going to ungroup as I don't want the envelope right now. I can then now click on the eyeball to hide that. And the other thing I'm going to get rid of is the front of the card, I assume. I don't like it. I tried working with it and I did not like it. So I'm going to delete that and I'm going to work with my own. Before I do that, I'm going to just open up the grouping for the card and I'm going to change the color of the card. This is not necessary, but I just like to be able to envision how things are going to look. I now have my square with my rounded corners. I'm going to bring that to the front and I'm going to place it at the front of the card and size it to whatever size I want. This is of course personal preference for you. However big or small you want it, please make it that way. Now that I have this in place, I need to cut the front of the card portion out of my design. I'm going to bring this and place it on top of here. One way to make it easy to see where you're going to cut is to change your operation of your rectangle from basic cut to pen. Now, this outline is where it's going to slice ultimately. As you may have seen on the card I shared at the beginning, I did have some wording down here and I want to leave that space there so I can add the wording to it. which we'll do at the end. Now that I have the front of the card portion sitting on my design the way I want it to, I'm going to select both of those portions. So the square that's now set to draw and our image, and I'm going to slice. I can now delete the excess. So here is a portion that the design was sliced out of. That can be deleted. And this piece that I changed to pen to be able to slice it out. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to bring in the wording of choice. XOXO is what I want to be sliced to be popping out of my design. And I'm using just one that's available in Cricut Design Space. This would have been cute as well with the little hearts. I should have used that, but it's all good. Whatever one you want, please go ahead and use. You can also find free versions on Canva, so please head over there. If you don't have Cricut access, that's another spot that you can find some free images to use. I don't believe this was a free image, but there are others that are really cute that are free. Now that I have the XOXO in, I'm going to resize this to fit the front of my card. That looks pretty good to me. Once you are happy with it, we want to take our time and do the next part because this is where it gets a little tricky. I'm going to select the image and the XOXO, and I'm going to duplicate this design. Place it on the front of my card. Once the card front is sitting on the card, I am going to quickly bring in my Love You portion. Cricut has some options here that are for Access members. There are some free versions as well, or you can bring in a text box and type it out, or like I said, try Canva, see if there's anything free on there that you can use. So I'm using this one because I thought it was really pretty. I want to size this down to fit my card. Looks pretty good. I really like that Cricut is now showing you where the center is of this because it never used to, and that drove me up the wall. So once we have that in place, we want to go ahead and flatten the Love You to the front of the card. I'm going to do that first before I do anything else. So I'm selecting the front of the card and the Love You, and how I'm doing that on this right side here, I select one, holding Control on my keyboard. I then click on the second part that I want. And now I can either click on flatten here, or we can right click and flatten like that. Now that our design is flattened, I'm going to bring that XOXO back. It's really important that your XOXO portion that we're going to eventually slice does not move. It needs to be the same for both this one and this one. The only problem is that if I try to flatten this before doing everything, it's going to cause problems. So you could also just create this whole image in Canva, for instance, bring it in, and then you won't have to do the little bits that I just did. But if you are comfortable, it's really simple to do, or just leave the extra portion out altogether. If you have good handwriting, you could probably just write that in yourself. Once we have this in place, we are going to change this XOXO to score. And the last thing we're going to do is select our image and our score portion and attach. This is all ready. We're now going to play with this one to create the riser portions for our card. I'm going to first change the color of the XOXO to white, and I'm going to duplicate this 3 times. Bring that to front. This is not necessary, I'm just placing it here. because as I've said many times, I am a very much a visual person that likes to see how things look before I create or cut everything. Now that we have our risers, in place, I can then go ahead and select the image and this XOXO, right click and slice. I'm going to delete the excess, so that back portion and this portion. And here is the image that's going to cut for the top of the card. Once all of that's complete, we can go ahead and get this cut. So as you can see, we have XOXO with the image of the card. The risers, the front of the card, and this will score. So what Cricut's going to do is it's going to print the front of the card, print this XOXO portion up here, score this part, cut everything, and we are ready to put it together. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of that, and I'll meet you back at the craft table so we can put it all together. All right, we are back at the craft table, and I need to stress how important it is that this stays in the right order. Number one, these have to stay in the right order so that they sit on our card base in the right order. So when you remove them, place them on your table or in wherever where it's going to be in the right order. And also you want to make sure everything is lined up properly. So these need to be in the right order as well. Because, you know, for instance, the O could technically sit like that, but it's not going to stick properly at the back of that O, and that's going to mess up the alignment on everything. The next thing is you want to use some glue. So you can use some risers on the back of this and stick it on like that. I found it looked neater this way. So for instance, this is the one I shared on Shorts. And to me, this looks much neater than having the gap there from using risers or the foam tape, I guess, because it's not going to make it one single piece. It is going to have a bit of a gap. And I think to me, this looks a little bit neater. This is the one I was saying that I used an image where I had to slice out of like 3 times because of the different colors in here. The slicing was very difficult, and then after I put everything together, I thought, oh my goodness, I got it perfectly, only to realize I did not get it perfectly. There are some places where it's not, you can see, like for instance, love is sliced differently than what is on the backing. So this is why I'm not going to go through how I did this one, because ultimately it didn't end up working the way I was hoping it would have. Anyhow, I have everything cut. It's really hard to see. Let's see if I can get you to see this. This is scored with the XOXO portion, and it is now ready to be put together. So I'm going to first start off by gluing these together. Of course, you know, you probably hear me saying this all the time. I'm using the Barely Arts glue. It is magnificent as it takes a minute to dry. And what I'm going to do is literally just not do that. If you have the needle for the Barely Arts glue, it is highly recommended just leaving it in this like topper like this so that it never clogs on you. Unfortunately, I lost that needle and I'm really sad about it. I do need to grab another one. I haven't actually looked to see what that's going to cost, but I use regular needles for now. I just got those off of from Michael's for a project, and I have a bunch left, so I've been using those. Tweezers are also going to be your best friend to place everything together. And like I said, the Barely Arts glue is so nice because it does take a second to dry and gives you a chance to make sure everything is lined up nicely. And I did try doing this with putting the glue on all the pieces first and then trying to stack them. That was a bad idea because the glue was starting to activate, and by the time I got to the second piece, for instance, it was already, you know, drying on me, and it didn't allow me to fix the alignment of my letters. So I made all the mistakes as usual, because that's what I'm here for, so that you all don't have to do that and don't waste your product, because that's not fun. In this economy, it's the most difficult thing now is to waste anything, because everything is so expensive. It's ridiculous, as we all know. Adulting at its finest, right? So once all your pieces are lined up, you will then glue them here using those score lines as your guide to stick each portion. So I'm going to go ahead, get all the rest of the letters glued together, and then we will add it to our design. Our letters are now all glued together, nice and neat, like I said. So the other part I would suggest is gluing this down first. So I'm just going to add, same thing, some Barely Arts glue, or actually, I might actually use the glue tape. The glue tape. So not to leave any glue marks or have any glue marks coming through. I'll put this at the front of our design, as centered as we possibly can. And now we want to go ahead and glue the pieces together. It's already so gorgeous. It's coming out so well. So we are going to go ahead and add some glue to the back of our letters. And like I said, we're using the score lines to help us place each letter down. So just make sure you're in a spot where you can see your score lines. So, how gorgeous is that already? Oh my gosh, I'm in love. I am in love. You can see I'm getting down with the card here. And like I say all the time, the Barely Arts glue, it does dry clear, so it's really nice to be able to not have to worry too much. And voila. How sweet is that? Oh my goodness, I'm absolutely in love with this. Oh my gosh. So there you go. We have two different versions. Like I said, this was hard to do, but if you can get a flat design like this, it's same concept as this one. And there you have it. Is this not the most darling thing ever? It is something that you can definitely add to your storefront if you have it, you know, on Etsy, or if you have, you know, you go to a farmer's market or wherever the case may be. This would be so sweet to add to your collection of things to sell. The card base, like I mentioned, does come with the envelope. So cut that envelope out and there you go. You have a card ready to sell for your product line. And if you're just doing this because you like to DIY like me, this would be so sweet to give to somebody that you love. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give me the thumbs up, hit the bell button so you're notified when I post new videos, and of course, subscribe to my channel. I will be sharing another project with you shortly. I'm hoping tomorrow, but if not, then Tuesday. So until then, I hope you have a fabulous rest of the day. If you're having a snowstorm like we are here in Toronto, please stay safe. Until next time, happy crafting. Take care. Bye now.